So traditionally, when we factor, we would have, for instance, we would have x squared minus 6x minus 27. Our goal is to find two numbers whose product will give us negative 27, but whose sum will give us negative 6. So in this case, we would just say x minus 9 and x plus 3. Because once again, negative 9 times 3 gives us this negative 27, but negative 9 plus 3 gives us this negative 6. But now, one thing that's not stated a lot, this is very simple because the coefficient is 1. The coefficient is 1. But in the case below here, the coefficient is 2, which adds a lot more possibilities. So in this case, we want to do what we call factoring by grouping. So now the first thing we look at here when we factor by grouping, I want to say 2 times 12 gives us 24. I'm going to write this out right here. That will give us 24. So now I need two numbers that could multiply to give us 24, but whose sum, remember that's addition, can add up to give us 11. So we want to think about two numbers that can satisfy these terms. So I want to use 8 and 3. So what I'm going to use is say 2x squared plus 8x plus 3x plus 12. As we said again, that's two numbers that can multiply to give you 24, but they can add up to give you 11. So when we do this, now we want to use our greatest common factor to factor it out. The greatest common factor here between 2x squared and 8x will give us 2x, and that will give us x plus 4. And the greatest common factor between 3x and 12 is 3, and that would also give us x plus 4. So now we have x plus 4 in both terms. So we simply put it like this. We're going to say 2x plus 3 and x plus 4. You know you're doing this correctly because it's going to always work out like that, where you have the same terms, in this case, that x plus 4, the front and the back. So here we would use 2x plus 3 times x plus 4. And if we ever wanted to check it, all we would have to do is use the FOIL method, multiply it out and get the original polynomial. So that's how we factor by grouping. Okay, in another case here, we want to use 9x squared plus 18x plus 8. So we still want to use the same type of logic. We need two numbers that could multiply. Let's look up here. We want two numbers that could multiply to give you 72. Okay, but that can still add up to give you 18. So in this case, just think about the two numbers that can multiply to give you 72 and add up to give you 18. That would be 12 and 6. So we would say 9x squared plus 12x plus 6x plus 8. Okay, because that would satisfy. And once again, we use the greatest common factor here to solve it. Now, the greatest common factor between 9x squared and 12x, that's going to be 3x, and that's going to give us 3x plus 4. And the greatest common factor between of 6x plus 8, that's going to give us 2. They're both even. And then 3x plus 4. Okay. So once again, just like the last time, we're going to multiply 3x plus 2, those numbers outside the parentheses, and then 3x plus 4, those numbers inside the parentheses. And once again, if we ever wanted to just check our answers and to see if it was correct, the only thing we would have to do would be to FOIL it out and multiply the polynomial to get right back to the original problem.